I think that's a really interesting part of this, that Vogue is this luxury fashion iconic brand. Doesn't immediately take you to thoughts of tech and coding. Why tech?
Because I think tech is just touching every part of our lives. And if women truly, we want equality, you can't be locked out of so many jobs. There's 300,000 jobs I think are going to be created around the tech industry in the next few years. And if women aren't literate and can't have those conversations and can't get those jobs, we're going to be locked out of opportunity. So Vogue has always, I guess, led the way. And we make things fashionable, and so this is a good cause to make fashionable, and I've been really pleased with the way it's been embraced by Westpac first. They really got behind it first, David, Curran, and Anastasia, and now we have so much interest from the broader community.
Yeah, it's growing a life of its own, isn't it? What sort of things are you learning with each year? What are the sort of the key learnings you've taken out of the previous years?
The people we meet at the event, the people who come to speak at our event, are perhaps the most inspiring part of this. So I've learned a lot. I've learned about a lot about altruism as well, and technology's role in giving back. Mina Harris, who will be coming to speak at this event, launched the Phenomenal Women campaign, and she really has learnt how to leverage your corporate identity to give back. And I think technology is that great equalizer. With technology we can reach really broad and huge audiences. So being able to galvanise that power for good is really interesting. And I think this very female-focused event has naturally kind of swayed in that direction to discuss giving back, because I think so many women genuinely want to do that.
Now, you've got two young daughters yourself. Has that had an influence, an impact on your desire, I guess, to drive these opportunities for young women?
Without a doubt. I mean, my daughters they teach me all sorts of things. I spent yesterday seeing James Charles, who's a beauty YouTuber, and really sort of trying to understand that world because it's so influential for them. And I've got to say, it's quite impressive. The amount of acceptance and the anti-bullying messages that are going through so many of these high-profile YouTubers is extraordinary. So knowing how much technology was influencing their lives, I really wanted to have that conversation around making sure that they were continuing with STEM subjects at school and were computer literate, were able to do basic coding, because I don't want them in a workplace like I was, where you're developing female, focused products, and we couldn't find a female developer to work on it. That at the moment I want to build a Vogue avatar for Instagram, and really everyone I've spoken to, they're all men who understand gaming programming, which is what we need to build the avatar. And that's just not right. There should be more women out there who we could tap to work with us.
I think that's really interesting. You touched on making coding fashionable is what Vogue's now trying to do. But it's opening a pathway for young women to be able to work in fashion, in media, and in not necessarily an obvious way.
Definitely. I mean, I want women to know that we have so many girls who would like to work at Vogue. I mean, if I could sell work experience, it'd be a whole different business. But, I want them to know that technology is an important part of our work and that there are jobs for Vogue in the areas of technology. I was also really, there was a young Australian of the Year who is an expert in robotics, and she was telling me that she felt that she had to dress differently when she went to hang out with the programmers. So she would deliberately wear, very feminine clothes when she went in to speak to young girls at schools, in schools to encourage them to be interested in robotics. But then when she went back into the workplace, she had to put on the sloppy joe and eat the pizza and beers and everything. And I thought, gosh, that sounds like women feeling they had to wear the power pantsuit to go into the boardroom in the 80s. It's like, what is wrong with this industry where, women can't dress like, or don't feel that they can dress like women? That's a very Vogue perspective on the issue, but I think it's very telling that it is a very male-dominated world.
Yeah, the gender equality or gender diversity, very hot topic right now. Do you feel things like this are taking positive steps, making a difference.
Without a doubt. I mean, Tracy Chowell really spoke about the Me Too campaign and how, while, yes, it's had this huge impact on Hollywood, but the tech industry has kind of been left out, and really, the tech industry is where a lot of these conversations need to take place. It's been quite a biased world, to say the least. And not just male dominated, but there's been a lot of negative workplace experiences for women in that sort of tech sector, and it's just interesting that it didn't take hold in the same way it did in Hollywood, in Silicon Valley.